Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Wednesday, November the 30th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the monthly wrap-up. I actually missed last month's wrap-up because it came in the middle of the week, so I didn't want to do that 2 times in a row. Just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So, as we look at the monthly chart, and we can see we are 545 pips above the monthly open. And we're 143 off the high at the moment and 864 off the low. It's been a huge month. In fact, if you've been watching my videos, you know over the past 20 years, the monthly range is the second largest November monthly range. And we filled the gap on the weekly on the pound dollar. But we are down 50 pips from the weekly open, 72 off the low and 106 off the high. But we still have some open gaps, but this is Wednesday, and we're not done with the week yet. And as you can see here, we're still within the opening range for the week. For the year, we're 1,513 pips below the open, 1,654 off the low, and 1,736 off the high. So once again, we're just floating around the weekly midpoint here at 2053, 1.2053. So we're 41 pips below the midpoint of the year. We actually crossed over it this month, but now we're back down. And as you can see, we haven't added to the overall year-to-date range. Yesterday was an inside bar, at least on this broker. We broke out of the low barely by about 2 pips, maybe 3. But we're in that inside bar of yesterday, so look for a breakout. Lots of inside bar action here being displayed on the dashboard. For the day, 87 pip range, and we've got a bunch of pairs over 100 pips. For some reason, the pound is lagging. And the beast is in the lead. Euro yen, no slacker at 157. God, I haven't traded the euro yen in so long. I used to trade that all the time. Dragon like trading that. And the reason is because since it's euro yen, 24/7 there's price action. You're either in the London market, so you've got the action on the euro. You're in the Asian market, so you got the action on the yen. And if you're in the U.S. market, you got action on both of those pairs, because USD JPY and EUR USD. So really the euro yen is one of those blended pairs where if you can trade the euro USD and USD yen and make a synthetic euro JPY. So here, the buy zone, during this session, we were nowhere near the buy zone. It's just been up. Rats, red rats, get ready to feast. And we've been, in the other video I put out today, Walmart and I, we just been toggling seams between like 2015 and 1990. And you can see we're just ranging in here. And I was long here. I got out with about 2 pips on a trade, and they brought out a big pot of shrimp, another 20 pips. But that was my fault for just not staying in the trade. Pivot trading plan, if we're near the pivot, you want to be short, near R1 short. Bambino Flex said short. I'm not sure why I have this on D1. But we got near R1, so you see the short. We were at the pivot. There was a couple of shorts, but price has been pushing up. Hit R1, and they called for a short there. So I'm not sure if any of the traders out there, if you guys are trading pivots, nobody's ever responded, so I'm assuming there's not too many pivot traders. We've taken out today's pivot. Let's see, we almost took out the pivot we missed 15 weeks ago, and we missed the pivot 2 weeks ago. So we'll see if either of those pivots get taken out. And we've already taken out the monthly pivot. I believe we did that the first or second day of the month. We took that level out. We're in the upper wick zone. As you can see, yesterday's candle was more wick zone than body. And I'm wondering, I'd have to go in and change the code, but if the maybe if the wick is X% of the range, you might want to call off a wick zone trade. I'm not sure if that would be statistically significant or not, but I was kind of thinking, I guess what you could do is you could look at the wick size, if it's X% of the range, and then if it is, then see what these statistics would be. So you basically have a matrix, but that might be splitting hairs. I don't know. It might show something. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. Okay, now let's get to where it's interesting. Let's see, if we switch this over to monthly, you can see once again 1,007 pips, 83 percentile. We had 1379 2 months ago, so some huge monthly range. High minus previous high, 508, so there's a breakout. We did not break out of the low. High minus close at the moment, 139. Close minus low, 868. So any of you rat traders were definitely rewarded. And buy zone or monthly crossover traders, 688 high minus open and 319 open minus low. So you can see how it's almost so simple to trade. You can trade the current open level, the previous month's high or low, or actually you could do this either daily, weekly, monthly, even H4. But just taking those breakouts or those crossovers can prove to be very profitable. And it's such a simple trade, doesn't really require any analysis or anything. You just set up your chart with those, previous high, low, and current open, and just trade with candle color at the line. You can go for big pips, you can go for small pips. And one of the things that I've noticed, like especially with the M30 that I've been trading, using that chart where, and that's why I was kicking myself for not taking more pips off the table. All I would have to do is just sit on my hands and just see if the range is going. Is the range even at the 50% level? If it's not, just sit there and hopefully it goes my way, especially if my stop's never been threatened. So like if you get a spike up, say 2-3 pips, and then it doesn't come back and take you into the red, then if it's not going down, it must be going up, or vice versa. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we seem to be ranging between here. Let me switch this over to M30 so you can see what I'm talking about. And I almost knew this was going to happen. You see how these M30 candles are covering, meaning the high is above the, in this case, the top. This candle high is above this candle top. This candle low is below this candle bottom, or candle bottom here. So it covered. This candle covered, and this candle's going to try and cover, it looks like. But a nice short at the 10, let's see, 10, 11 line, 11.9 was the open. So we take the short at the open of that candle after, and you saw it just went green to red, so that would have been a nice short coming back in. I look to do that. And then here, 11 pips. So it should probably get to be a little bit bigger. So you can see here, 19, it's about pips. is somewhere around 50% tile range. And you can sit there in that trade and maybe take more pips. But you can always look at lower time frames to see if when it's going against you, if you were short, and say, you know what, maybe I'll take my pips off the table. But we still have 24 minutes. We'll just you'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Does it come all the way back down to the double O? Does it run up to the 20? You don't know, and you've got H4 green. So that's you're working against H4 here. And you can see H4 needs to put in a few more pips. This was right before the news. Things just were quiet. But that's how I play with that. And so here we go. Price is dropping again. Would have been a nice trade, but I'm making videos and it's real hard to talk and trade at the same time when I'm making these videos, but that would have been a nice trade to take there. And let's just go ahead and look here at the monthly. As I mentioned, 1,007 pips. Biggest November, or second biggest November since 2003. Looking at statistics. So that's the year-to-date. That's the range by month. So year-to-date accumulated. Just we'll go through these stats. 3390. We haven't added to the range since the end of September. So we'll have to wait and see where this 3390 is going to put us. Let's see, what do we have to break? We'd have to break 3538. And that would be the second biggest year-to-date range since 2003. Because I just have 20 years worth of stats up here. I don't think we need to look at more than that. Let me know if somebody thinks we need to look at more than that. I'd be curious. So we saw what the range is. So the ATR is normally 624. So we've exceeded that by almost 400 pips. That's huge. Next up, let's look at let's just show the close minus open. So we've had 2 green months in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the year. So it looks like we'll have more red months than green months this year. Close minus open percent for the year. We're down 11%, 11.27 to be exact. So doesn't seem like we're pushing any boundaries there. So I think that pretty much sums up. And on the trade report, nothing really significant at the moment. So, fellow traders, I really hope you had a profitable month. And I wish you a profitable December coming up tomorrow. Just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.